So now, welcome, and I truly do hope you're going to enjoy our little video here. And ironically, we're kind of in a good spot for this, but we're going to be talking about some very, very odd things in Elden Ring, primarily the gods, and the understanding of what is incest and why it happens in Elden Ring. I'm not talking about in real life because I don't want to talk about that. That's not for me. No, but the reason why Elden Ring's incest is happening is, I'll put it simply, just for the little hook. It's because there is no hope. When they have no hope, the beginning early forms of humans, what did they do? They did the exact same thing that these, gods in Elden Ring did, or, the other beings did in Elden Ring by procreating with one another, because they have no hope. They have nothing left. The shattering shattered all of it, and even before then, they had nothing. How were they going to create? Because they weren't like the gods, the genuine god. Like, they were not like the Elden Ring itself. They were not like the greater cosmos that is above, or like, say for example, the criminal's blood flame. They're not like these, like, genuine, like, godlike beings that can create nothing from something, that use dark matter like the Christian God that we know does, right? So that alone is something that a lot of people don't really look into consideration. I think that's a big reason why George R.R. Martin's stories, because every single one of his stories is always, it's very similar when it comes to FromSoft. It's always the new beginning of a ending age. That's always what it is. That's every single story that FromSoft or George R.R. Martin releases, practically. Think about it. Every single one of them is in, like, I mean, some of the most dastardly times that they could possibly be in. These humans or elves or whatever these beings that he's talking about are, they're all in basically the worst time imaginable. They're not able to do practically anything because they have literally no hope. I mean, all of their forms of reproduction, all of their forms of, moving forward, like, especially one of the biggest things that led me to create this video was genuinely the song, the Latin song that talks, from the Harpies, that talks about basically the, how do I put it, they talk about how the Golden One was horribly angry at them, and they don't understand why. They don't understand, why he's angry or anything like that. I just got hit by all of that. I just panic rolled so bad. No, but it's just, it's the exact same thing there. No matter what you think about, they're all talking about, oh yeah, we're no longer, you made us a dastardly being. What once was is no longer. We cannot have children. We cannot do anything. We can't do any of this. And that is the biggest piece. But ironically, if I go ahead and look at this, you see I just got that from our little guy, right? But if I go ahead and go into this, and, arrested. Oh, what is that? Flask of Crimson Tears +3, I only have 7 of them? But if you go into status, look at my level. Why is that? It's because I played on the PlayStation 5, right? And I was lucky enough to have one because, they got, basically now they're super easy to find. I was lucky enough to be able to find one out in Kansas where I lived at the time. I moved states. But it's the exact same thing there. Because I was coming from Elden Ring, originally what happened was I was coming from Xbox, right? I was very, very, very into Elden Ring at the beginning there. But I didn't enjoy a lot of the, the barren wastelands, which they then added more enemies to, which I absolutely loved. But then I was a level, max level character that grinded my way up, helping all of my buddies that were on Xbox, and then I switch over to the computer, and now I have nothing. So, talking to people about that, telling them, I'm in the Elden Ring Discord, okay, we're going to talk about how I'm at the worst moment possible when it comes to Elden Ring. Genuinely speaking. Because if you even look at that, right, look at that in the exact same way that these people were detested by the Golden Ones, right? It sounds weirdly ironic, but this is the best thing that I can give when it comes to, I guess, something that allows other people that can understand, or I guess an analogy that would make it easier to understand why incest is so prevalent in Elden Ring. See, but I started, at 189, or I was like, I was like 162, but I've gotten a few more levels as I've played. As you can see, I have quite a bit of time in the game, especially on this, I mean, I'm sitting at, I don't know if it tells me exactly, I don't think it tells me exactly how many time I have unless I go out here, yeah, see, 19 hours. So 20 hours almost on this. So, excuse me. But the thing is with that is that I started just with the faintest hope. Somebody else did something to help me because that was the only thing that they could do. That help led me to where I am today, leading me in reality to a worse situation than where I was before. But the fraction of the hope is all that I have because all I have left is God. You know, that's exactly how it is in Elden Ring. It's the exact same thing. It's all about theology. All they have left is what truly is the divine cosmos. A God that they don't know, a God that's so formless, a God that is creation of nothing. The one thing the gods themselves can't do is create nothing, or like create something from nothing, or create nothing from something. I mean, they can destroy whatever, but those particles are still there. They can't fully destroy something. They can't make it cease to exist, at least from my knowledge, right? They can kill it, but its remnants will always be there. All throughout Elden Ring. I mean, look, I mean, you can see, even if we go, I think it's down here. Yeah, see, right here is where that dragon lays, right? And right underneath it, you have the head down here somewhere, right? The death head, from either one of the giants or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you have them all over this place. You know, you have them all over Caelid. All, like, I mean, they are always there. So because of that, that is a rendition of how hopeless everything is. Something that is dead is still standing, still kicking, still pushing back on what is, you know, the greater cosmos. But this incest that these people came from, you know, the incest that happened was genuinely, like, the whole thing about, you know, what is known as a duality of man, or the alchemist term, or what is reality, the Christian Gnostic term, known as above, so below. Known very, very well in Satanism, especially modern Satanism throughout today. But that form itself is the creation and the understanding that is the disgusting things that happen in this world. It's because at the worst of times, these beings have to do what they do to survive. That's what it is. It's not good or evil, it's survival. It's not moral codes, it's not understanding, it's survival. That's the entirety of the story of Elden Ring. It's the bleak midwinter that you cannot get through unless you truly do some horrific things in order to get through them. Whether it be stealing from somebody else, stealing blankets or clothing from, you know, another being, or finding and pillaging something. Like, you're doing some of the worst things to survive. And the exact same thing, as I walk around, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm walking and I'm breathing. But each and every single breath is just another form that once will be, or will soon to be, last hope. That is one theory of Elden Ring that I've not heard anyone talk about. And I mean, I'm a very, like, I'm a Gnostic Christian, which is a very, very early form of Christianity. Very similar, if you guys know what Hermeticism is. You guys might know somebody named Hermes Trismegistus, right? So that would be one of the earliest forms, I guess, for you guys to find when it comes to theology on this game. A lot of Gnostic text, a lot of Jewish Kabbalah, a lot of, you know, just Christian mysticism in general is in this game because the Japanese were Christian, surprisingly enough. A lot of them, like, for example, they would have a lot of Christian symbols on their suwa, right? Which came from the Roman Emperor, Constantine, if I remember properly. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but if I remember properly, it was Emperor Constantine that ended up bringing over the suwa, or other forms, like, for example, the rays of light. That is known as heaven, which is why we have very large cathedrals that are very, very large, and like, they're very tall, and they're super duper tall because they let in all the light possible. Those things exist for the exact same reasoning. It's all due to the understanding that is, or at least what once was, the true Christian, I guess, occultism that once was. And that is the point of it. It's the pessimism that the Bible and the Torah bring. It's a story genuinely about pessimism. It's a story about having no hope, but finding hope in what you see, or what you can see as a god. Like, these things are wild. And they're never ever talked about, understood, or really even theorized, because a lot of theologians don't play video games. I mean, I would call. I mean, I would like to say. I mean, I know quite a bit about theology, not as much as these other folks, but this is just one of my many theories on the game, and I'm gonna leave it without any editing or anything like that because I want my genuine thoughts and feelings to be in the video. I'm not gonna go ahead and edit these theory videos if I do make them, merely because I feel like being able to express my true emotion, my true understanding, and the at least what I see from my early Gnostic perspective when it comes to Elden Ring and forms of Christianity, Judaism, and basically other forms of Abrahamic religion. You know, even parts of Islam come in. Not very many. There's two pieces of Islam, for example. You have a lot of these ladies over here. These ladies over here actually is a form of, you know, these ladies here are a form of Islam, which sounds fucked, but it is the truth. These ladies, I can walk over, I can come dance with them, I can do whatever. Yeah, see, but look at these beings. They're crazy. They have hijab. You know, they have the cowls. But some of them don't wear them because they're women dancing now. You don't see any man here. There's nothing there. It is the split and cause of sexuality due to Sharia law. That's exactly what this place is. This entire game is littered without, littered without any understanding of, the greater cosmos, and it's proving that. It's proving that we don't understand truly what God is. All we know is that all of us have different interpretations of what God is, and our hope is what will bring us together. That is Elden Ring. And the form that Miyazaki doesn't come out and say this because he wants other people that are genuinely, either theologically inclined or people that move either to theology, whether, to form a God or a greater being or something that's greater in the cosmos. Which I'm not here to prove God. That's not my thing. But that at least is what I get from this. It's the human struggle of life. It's the human struggle of war, of death, of deception, of all things decrepit, of all things disturbing. That's what it is. This, like all things, has its good and its bad. Look, these people are clearly happy as can be. But from the outside looking in, this is disturbing. That learning what is behind these folks, behind these ladies, and what seemingly is their beautiful little home, at least what I find beautiful with all their little flowers, it's disturbing. And that's the exact same thing with the pessimism of Christianity and the other Abrahamic faiths. It's a commentary on pessimism and the understanding that even with how pessimistic the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, anything Abrahamic, or at least any holy book can be, any time that one holy book is pessimistic, even with that pessimism, you always have to grasp and crawl your way to the highest forms of hope that you have. That's why they led to incest. That's why they led to all of these forms of disturbing, what we would see now in society as horrifying things. It's because they have to grasp the only forms of hope that they have. What's the only form of hope that the gods have in order to create more gods? So then they know that they're going to die because of the Elden Ring shattering. All this happened so they know that they're going to have to create more gods, but even before that they knew it was going to happen. That's why they procreated. That's why there was other gods. And the imperfection of the gods only proved so farther. And it tells that in the story of Elden Ring. They guessed that this would happen. They guessed that the shattering was going to occur before it ever even happened. That's why the reproduction of the gods due to incest happened. That's why the separation of the spirit happened. That's why all of these things happened. But it's the greater connection of the Erd Tree, the greater connection of the cosmos, the greater connection of the criminal's blood flame that is seen as disturbing, that is seen as horrifying, but it's the best thing that we have. It's all as above, so below, my friends. That's my theory on Elden Ring. I'm getting a call, so I gotta go. But I truly do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please like it. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments just below. Thank you guys again. Have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.